Take two, round two. Okay, so welcome to a new video. So right now, I'm actually going to be covering RuneScape, right? So this is going to be about the Masterwork armor that just released in the recent update. It is tier 99 armor, as you can see. This is what it looks like. These are actually the stats right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. You have the Masterwork ranged cowl. You have the augmented Masterwork ranged body, the Masterwork ranged fan braces, the Masterwork ranged chaps, and then the Masterwork ranged boots. So this armor right now, I feel like it really is best in slot for ranged. You do need, I believe, level 99 defense to actually wear it, just because it is a a ranged armor. One of the things that I can see right off of the bat, right? It's a power armor combined with a damage mitigation effect, right? So there's so much going for this that at this point now, when I'm using it, I can actually uh go through the entire Sanctum of Rebirth with Soul Split. Yes, there's parts of it where I absolutely have to use the actual I have to use the actual, what's that thing called? What's that? Oh, that looks cool. Oh, it's the Masterwork. That looks pretty tight. Um, I have to use the actual prayers, but most of the time I'm soul splitting because of the damage mitigation. I don't take all the damage all at once, and it delays the damage enough that I'm able to make back a lot of the HP while I'm actually just dealing damage from soul split, right? So right off of the bat, one of the things I can say that it has really going for it is the life bonus. If you look at my HP right now, I'm looking at about 15,000 HP. 15k. That is insane. It practically doubles up my HP. At level 99, HP Constitution, I'm currently working with about 9k, almost 10k worth of HP at any given moment if I'm using any of my other armors, right? If I use the bonfire, then it's going to jump up to 10k. So it's going to be 9,900, and then with the bonfire, it's going to be like 10,000 something, right? So here, I'll check it real quick. Uh, it's going to be, yeah, 10,647. But as soon as I put on the masterwork, we're looking at that 15,397. And one of the biggest things is the power burst of vitality still works with this. So you go from having about 20,000 HP when you're using the power burst of vitality. For those of you who don't know, the power burst of vitality, what it does, it actually ends up doubling your HP for about 6 seconds or 4 seconds, I believe. So if you look at it right now, as you see, 6 seconds, my HP is now at 30,000, right? It does have a cooldown of 1 minute, so you can't just spam this. But if you're ever tanking a lot of damage, like in Zamorak, like the bomb's gonna hit for the seventh phase. It's an unavoidable attack. You can survive it by just going ahead and taking this, and instead of dying right away, because you got hit for 7k, um, you survive, right? So that's what the power burst of vitality does. That's how much HP you have at the moment just by wearing the armor, right? The requirements are pretty heavy because you do need 99 range and you do need 99 defense. And the actual, if you don't make it, if you're making it, I think it takes about 32 hours worth of time, and you also have to actually you have to do a bunch of crap, but I think it takes at least 32 hours worth of time to actually fabricate the armor. On top of that, you need like level 120 or a level 110 crafting, I believe. Yeah, a level 110 crafting, and you also need a level 110. Um, I want to say fletching, but I don't think so. Either way, you need a lot of sets for this armor, right? It's end game armor. But when you're actually using it, it is crazy. It has a masterwork set bonus. So basically, this is what the bonus says. So when damage per piece worn, 10% of the incoming damage is delayed and dealt out over the next 6 seconds. 50% with all 5 pieces, right? So if I take 5k worth of damage, instead of taking that 5k right away, I'm going to be hit for 2,500, and then I'm going to be taking the rest of the damage over the next 6 seconds with a bleed. You can block it with barricade, and I believe you can even half it with reflect. But one of the key things is that because it's a bleed and the damage is being staggered out, so you go from like taking one big hit to just going like half the hit and then dun dun dun, right? Like little ticks of damage. If you're using Soul Split, if you're using, I believe the prayer, the critical prayer that heals you, you're actually able to heal yourself back up in time for it not to be a problem, right? Um, one of the other things is this also has a lot of actual bonuses in terms of attack, right? So it has range bonus. So the actual prayer bonus, it has three prayer bonuses on the ranged body. It has life bonuses. It has range damage bonus. So 25. You have 37 on the chaps. I mean on the chest. 31 on the chaps, 15 on the actual boots, and the van braces, that's 15, right? So this makes it so that you are basically unkillable as long as you're doing everything right. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I like my rotation for this right here for the Sanctum of Rebirth, and I'll be talking about the actual um about the armor as I go along because I feel like it's a lot easier to show you rather than tell you. Obviously, we start off with the darkness, 20% chance to dodge incoming hits. You know, it's a lot better, I feel like, than the magic version of it. But regardless, you can't even use it if you're not using mage. So we're potted up. We have 120 ranged, and we're gonna be killing the vermix. Prayers on. Throw that pot. Do the hex. Hit him with the imbue shadows. Hit with the. Oh, by the way, this thing, Death Swiftness, it's now considered just a buff that follows you, which is so fucking useful now. Because before you would genuinely have to wait for the actual. Hang on, I'm about to phase it. That's why I'm like slowing down a little bit. And kill that. Kill that. Okay, that's dead. I don't have to worry about anything. But you see how I'm not taking a whole lot of damage? Like my HP's still up there. And because of the Hellhound, like I'm not really worried about the actual amount of damage that I'm taking at one time. So right there, let's do that. So we're killing it. Killing, killing, killing. Oh boy, it's my favorite thing to do. Killing monsters. Okay. So dodge that, dodge the moonstones. And if you notice, I haven't taken a single food. Just because I don't really need it at the moment. I'm dealing so much damage. I just got hit for what 11k, and nothing really happened. Gonna wait for that to go through. Kill this guy, and you don't really have to kill this guy here. I just like to because crap, I was distracted talking. Because if you miss the souls, what it does is if you kill him, you don't have to worry about an attack coming from him. You can just focus on the souls. And again, like look at my HP. I'm at 15,000 HP. I started with 15k and I'm at 15k and I'm just praying. Soul Split, it's I haven't used a single defensive. I can even use Reflect, but there genuinely isn't any kind of point in doing so. Because well, I'm not taking enough damage to justify the adrenaline cost. And right now, for example, we're looking at just the mechanics of the boss, and they're relatively easy to take out. Like, I'm gonna do that, and this boss should be dead in the next couple of seconds. All right, you're dead. Alrighty. So that was the first boss of the Sentinel Rebirth. I didn't take a single food The only thing I really used was my. I didn't have even have my vampirism aura on, which is something that's very helpful if you have it on. So I'm gonna turn it on right there. You know, extra. We're never gonna say no to extra healing. Throw my bombs. This is a good space to stand if you're killing this boss, just because the first two attacks, because of the way they work, they're not going to really hit you if you stand here. So gonna do that. Get it? Okay. Okay. Come on. Move, move, move. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it's because I don't want to get hit by the bomb. Like, I'm not going to die by any means, but it's really gonna be it's shameful, you know. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? So we're gonna do that. Hit him with the range combo. Smack him with that. Smack him with that. Oh, we already phased him. Hit that. Throw another two. And we got to kill the pillar before the time up here runs out. Throw another vulnerability bomb. Hit them with here. And like I said, right now, like all right, so I'm gonna actually. Oh, I was gonna tank it, but I'm like, because I dislike tanking it if I can, just because. But again, the amount of HP is crazy. I'm not worried at all that I like might get one hit out of nowhere now. Let me take care of these guys. Because I can tell you when Sanctum of Rebirth first came out. Ah, crap, I wasted something there. Oh, and it also mitigates the amount of damage that you're taking from something like the move I just used right now. Instead of, you know, getting hit for the full amount of damage from using the Shadow Tendrils, I actually ended up only taking. Well, I'm just gonna stand here just so you can see. Like, I tanked it all, and it's not really. You know, it's not that difficult, honestly. Like, it's just, okay, just keep on DPSing. And I already outdamaged the actual damage that I was taking. Right now, for example, get out of there. Okay, walk out, hit him with that. It's gonna phase him, and now we're going to go to the next phase, which is the next pillar. Right there, do that. Okay, I'm a little nervous because I'm worried that I'm not gonna manage to kill the pillar before it actually before it hits that. But let's hope right there and okay. There we go. All right, hit him and I'm out of and my Hellhound's just chilling. It's funny. Like he's not really doing anything other than just existing, but it's helping out so much with the extra damage mitigation because it actually hit takes the bleeds for you as well. And the mechanics on this boss aren't that difficult. It's just that again, because of the way that it works, if you mess up and get one hit, right, like on the actual what is that thing called? You end up getting hit with the what is that thing called? With one of these, usually the damage is about 4K. If you have 10K HP, 4K is about half of your life points. Right now it would only be one third, but even then, because of the way that I'm playing, um, because of the damage mitigation, 4K would turn into 2K, and I took I think about 6K worth of damage back to back, which would have been 12K back to back. But I was able to out heal it just because the damage mitigation exists. And again, no food has been used. The only thing I'm really going to do right now is pot up and redo my darkness. And we're going to go ahead and do darkness, pot up. And this really feels like when the original Masterwork came out, because that's kind of how it was, you know. Obviously, as other armors came out, what ended up happening is that you didn't really rely on Masterwork anymore because the DPS wasn't there in comparison. But I think that right now, at least the way that the game is playing, you don't have to worry about DPS like you used to because um, I think last time I measured my DPS output on my character, I was looking at about, I believe, 414K. Yeah, 414K, and shit, move out of the way. This is one where I do get nervous because these guys, they end up hitting even pretty hard even through the actual what do you call that? Shit, where is it? Okay. And oh crap. Okay, see that I messed up, right? I messed up the timing and I ended up taking 7K. That would have been a 14K hit had I not had my the defense thing. Okay, one more. Okay. And I'm not doing too hot right now, but that's just mostly because I'm talking. Like it's not really indicative of the armor itself. Okay, right there. Hit that. Do that. Throw that. I don't really bother with the healing one just because the healing one isn't oh shit. Okay. It only heals for 30k. 30k isn't enough for me to stop doing DPS on the enemy for that. And be obliterated. Okay, protected from that. Well, actually, I don't really have to move now that I think about it. Okay, and there's a lot of inefficiencies in my rotation right now, because I'm not really hitting. Fuck. Damn it! I was hoping she would not do the second attack, but it's okay. Okay, do that. Throw that. For these guys, you have to stay close. And just gonna do that and hit that right there. Hit him with that. Okay, do this. Do that. Alright, hit him with here. Shoot with that. Rapid fire. Walk away. There we go. So that one's dead. Okay, cool. Shit. Okay. I thought I missed the timing on it. I was a little worried, but thankfully I didn't completely miss it. I just realized I didn't actually use the okay, they're dead. Good. Crap. Okay, hang on. I need to focus on here because I always mess this up, and if you mess it up, you're gonna insta die. So let's go over here. Okay, there's a man in a crescent. Okay, right there. Man crescent, man crescent. Okay, there we go. Click, click, man crescent. I have to say it, otherwise I'll forget. Man crescent, man crescent, man crescent, man crescent. Monkey. You go to the one that's not being used, I guess. Okay, do that. You can't stop me. Pretty sure I can. Okay, right there. Alright. Okay, tank it. I wanted to move out of the way, but I couldn't. Tank it again. Oh, thank God. It was pretty merciful with that one. Because, see, usually when I end up dying in this stage, it's because I get overwhelmed from the fire, the waves of fire, and then I also get overwhelmed from. And I need to heal up. Do that. Hit him with that. Okay, and then get. Okay, so it's squiggly line, and I believe that's a dog. Squiggly line and dog. Okay. 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 Squiggly line and dog. Oh shit, squiggly line, dog, squiggly line, dog, squiggly line, so it's going to be monkey or person. Okay, and then we're gonna do this. Okay. Okay, do that. Run forward, run backwards. Hit him with that. Prepare for death. Okay, and we'll do that. Focus on DPS. There we go. Okay, so I messed up a lot. There was quite a bit where I wasn't careful. I took a lot of damage, but again, because of the mitigation on this and the amount of extra HP that I had, I was just able to survive. I should have died at least twice while playing, right there, but I didn't, and that's because the damage mitigation saved me. I took a 7k hit. I was supposed to be 14k, and then I bled it out. I was able to heal from that, and I was just able to go through the entirety of the Sanctuary Rebirth, without really using too much food. Like the first two monsters, um, no dift, so zero food consumption. And then the last two, I ended up, having to eat, or the last one I ended up having to eat, but that was mostly because, again, I kept on messing in the mechanics. I was talking X, Y, and Z, but because of the damage mitigation, I was able to do that. Like usually I get tongue-tied or I can't focus when I'm doing a boss like that. Um, while making a video, I can't focus on talking because if I do, I know I'm going to mess up the mechanics. But because of the Masterwork armor right now, I was really able to. I wouldn't say that I would want to use the Masterwork bow over the bow of the Last Guardian. I know that the Masterwork bow gives you the 2% bonus heals, um, but I feel like the Masterwork Guardian or the bow of the Last Guardian just provides so much extra DPS that the other bow doesn't really compare. Yes, you can use the Essence of Finality for that special attack because I have the Crystal Rain, the Saren God bow imbued in the Essence of Finality, so that attack is really strong, but it's you're losing a lot of extra DPS in the actual passive. Let me see barrel. Let me see the Dwarven Challenge barrel, just so you could see. And again, even though this is technically a defense armor, you're still dealing a lot of DPS. Like let me see. I'm gonna pot up, and we're going to let me go back because I wanted to start this off with 100% special attack. And you know what the funny thing is? I feel like full manual is still the way to go. I know that they introduced like the basic attack for all the combat styles in order for you to go ahead and be able to actually, what do you call that? Um, to have a constant thing to click. But for range, like I've been using a combination of the basic attack and then piercing shot. Let's place the barrel. Okay, place the barrel. Anyway, G9 in. And throw the vulnerability bomb. Throw, and hit him with that. And this is just my rotation. I'm sure there's better rotations out there. It's just the one I'm most familiar with, and that gets me through most boss battles. But let's see. Um, but yeah, right now it's extremely expensive. So 1.5 billion, that's how much it cost me to actually get um the this full setup right here. The actual weapon is another bill. I think another 1.8 billion. So it's not like it's not expensive, but again, as I was telling one of my clanmates that we were chatting yesterday, it really is worth it. Like if you have the opportunity to, I would recommend getting it, just because it really will elevate the amount of damage that or the amount of damage that you can survive. And if you can survive it, that means you can complete it. Yes, I feel like for speed kills, the Dracolith armor might be better at the moment. But at the same time, the reason I wouldn't fully support going for the Dracolith armor, versus the Masterwork armor is just the life bonus. Like the life point HP bonus is just too crazy to ignore. You get so much for quite honestly so little, you know? Like it's not something I would say you can dismiss offhand just because you're like, oh, well, I can do more damage. Um, with the Dracolith armor, yes, in theory, but you really have to focus in dealing that extra damage, whereas this just gives you so much peace of mind. It's easier to survive big hits. It's easier to take down what do you call that? Take down enemies because again, if you survive and you're not dying, well, that means that your enemy is dying because you probably, were able to complete the kill. Where if you die and you're not able to complete the kill, then you're just kind of like, well, fuck, like I have to learn the boss's mechanics much better. There is something to say about, hey, like you should learn all the mechanics and just be really good at dodging all the mechanics so you're not taking any kind of damage. But again, you got to remember that it comes at a cost, like if you fuck up, um, and you die, then you don't get far enough to experiment some of the actual mechanics that you're supposed to. Whereas over here, yeah, you might get a slower kill, but because you're actually able to learn the boss and not die at it, you're able to profit. Yesterday, I can already solo Carapac, but a couple of days ago, I was just, doing Carapac for the hell of it, and I was actually able to get a piece of the Armadillo staff, and let's see how much damage I got. And that brought me up from 1.5 bill to 2 bill. So, like there's benefits. All right, let's see what the score is. Yeah, see 428k DPS per minute, and the final damage was about 1.2 mil in 3 minutes. I can kill most monsters pretty quickly. Honestly, at this point, sometimes I'm like, well, I'm being limited by the amount of the time where your character is jumping in between phases, because like for example Zamorak, he's invulnerable during a short period of time. Same thing for the girl right now that I was fighting in the Santang Rebirth. When she was transitioning into the next phase, I was at 480k, and I didn't realize that she wasn't taking damage, but she wasn't. She stayed stuck at that. Um, but the Masterwork armor just helped cover any kind of accidents that may have happened, and I really, really recommend getting it. If you have the stats, if you can afford it, go for it. I think it looks pretty sweet. Right now, I have a override on my cape. That's just one of the capes from killing the Soul Wars guy. But this is what it looks like. I think it looks really sick. Um, Really, really good armor. I'm actually curious to see how they're gonna top this, because when the armor for Masterwork armor came out from Melee, it wasn't, I feel like, until the Vestments of Havoc came out that I feel like that melee armor was really replaced, because Drager armor, or not Drager, but the Malevolent armor kind of fell off pretty quickly because you had some damage bonus, but the mitigation on the Masterwork is really, really useful. One last thing, at least in regards of the actual armor itself, I wouldn't recommend custom fitting it. The reason being is because the main reason you get it custom fitted is to stop the degradation. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. The degradation of the actual set. Right now, I have it's charged at 99.5%. Once it goes down to zero, it's going to be broken and unusable. You can repair it using the Apex leather, but because if you custom fit it, one, it will never run out of charges, or it won't if you use it in elite dungeons, it won't cost you any charges, right? So basically, if you custom fit it and you go into, let's say you just grind out Zamorak, only Zamorak, or something Rebirth, or the Shores guy, the other two dungeons, right? Let's say, or three dungeons. If you only focus on those and you don't do any other kind of content, then you're not going to be using any charges for the Masterwork armor. It is pretty expensive to repair, but again, one of the things is if you have this armor, you're kind of like me. I have more money than I know what to do with. Like most of my armors right here, I have the Masterwork custom fitted. I can't remember the last time I used this thing. I actually need to repair the melee boots, but I think that's because I dropped them while I was when I took damage. Instead of like saving them, I drop them and they lose charge if you drop them on the floor. If you don't go to the Reaper. But even with my Draculith, like I'm only looking at about 88%, and I've been playing for hours and hours and hours. So you're probably gonna make the money back if you're just bossing. I believe that for Slayer, if you custom fit it, you won't be using any charges either. If you custom fit it, and Slayer won't drain any charges. But other than that, it doesn't really give any other bonuses, so you don't get any bonuses in terms of damage. You don't get any bonuses in terms of life points or anything defense. The main bonus is it stops the degradation in certain areas, but the trade-off is you can never trade it. So right now, if I was like, you know what, I like the armor, but I want to switch to mage, right, for whatever reason. Okay, I go ahead and I get my perks back from this, use the equipment separator once at level 15, and I can sell it and I can get back a good chunk of my money. I paid 1.5 bill. Let's say it's today. Let's say it dropped off because more and more people are creating it. Then the actual price is going to be like, let's say 1 bill, right? But if I custom fit it, like that thing has to stay with me forever, which is good and bad because, like, for example, the custom fit was one of the few things I didn't gamble away when I was like in my gambling time, playing RuneScape. What I would do is I would boss like this, and I'd earn bills, and then I'd get to this point where I'm like, I have everything in the game. I get bored, so I'd gamble it. In the dueling arena, that's gone now, but it just highlights that it becomes yours and you can never get rid of it. It's a good reliable, in case you get hacked, you know. Unless somebody deliberately destroys it, then you're fine. But again, like for somebody like me, part of the fun is just getting the crap back. Um, I can get hacked, but they can't take away my ability to take down the bosses. Like Sanctum Rebirth now. Um, no, I haven't done her yet. I need to kill her. I need to do that, but not yet. Where is it? The ambassador? No. Gate, Griner, Harkin, Armand, King of Bones. I need to check that guy out. I think he's like, yeah, he's pretty low level. Colossal, Ivor Slangcloth. Huh. Purchase all bones drop for creatures for prayer. Oh, that's pretty tight. But it's a weapon. Okay. Magic skull armor. Oh, okay. That's new. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The Magister Narca. Yeah, there we go. So Nakatra, so collection. I am actually doing 8 of her kills now, versus like I would never really be able to kill her before because I'd get too frustrated. Like I'd have to learn her mechanics by force, and it's like, well, fuck, like I just died 10 times in a row. I'm tired. Let's go try this some other time. But now I'm able to push through the kill and actually I'm able to get some loot. I don't have too much loot there. It's only 8. I think it's only 32, 35 mil, but that's because I haven't gotten any unique drops. But yeah, I think again, if you can get it, go for it. It's a really great armor. Highly recommend it. It's gonna make your life super easy. I think I genuinely, hang on, I'm not sure, but let me just test it out. It shouldn't take anything longer than 6 minutes. At this point, the video is over. This is more for my own curiosity, but I think that I can actually soul split Zamorak at 100. I think, you know what? Let's go for 250 in range. I feel like at 250, I should be able to soul split Zamorak. I know for a fact I can do it at 100. And what I mean by soul split, I don't mean prayer flicking. Like I'm not prayer flicking soul split and then the appropriate the appropriate what's that thing called? The appropriate prayer. No, like just straight damage. I've said this before in other videos, but I find it hilarious. Um just obliterating the chaos witches like that because like they're just chilling, focusing on their job, and then boom, dead. What happened? I have no clue. I just woke up dead. Next thing I knew, I was dead. Or at least that's what I feel like it would. Oh wait, sorry. I said I wasn't gonna pray, so let's go ahead and do that. So 1K and hit that. Hit that. Wait for that. I may need to use defensives looking at it, honestly. All right. Hit that. Throw that. Wait, shit. Ah, okay. Damn, I am trash right now. Okay, 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 and jump. Gonna go ahead and go there. There we go. Hit him with that. I need to heal my little hellhound. There we go. Again, just staying with Soul Split. And sorry if I randomly flick back to it, but that's mostly because like it's such an ingrained habit in me at this point while I'm doing Zamorak to Soul Split flick that doing it right now is like just like it sounds weird, but it's just second nature, you know? Like I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just like doing it to do it, not because I have to, just because hey, like that's how I've been training myself this entire time. Oh my God. Okay, I was gonna say, why am I dealing so little damage? Like, Jesus, that was horrible. Horrible. Okay, there we go. Do the rapid fire and jump away. Okay, do that. Do that. And again, just pure soul split. There is nothing else that I'm doing other than that. Obviously, the Hellhound is helping a lot. But I feel like that's always part of the thing. Like your summoning beast should be something that's like taken into consideration. Like it's part of the setup, you know? Whoops, I wasn't supposed to use that early. Hit him with that, and then come on, go there, do that. There we go. This is one, okay, I was gonna say, this is one of the ones that I always get a little nervous on because sometimes it's hard to go through and actually phase Zamorak because of the healer doing or the protector adding some damage reduction. Bear in mind, damage reduction on a god, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, but you know, that's what happens when you're fighting literal forces of nature at this point. All right, I think I'm gonna have to use defensive here. And do that, jump down. Okay, do that. All right, come on, come on, and heal. Okay, we healed. I was worried, I thought we were gonna die here. Let's do that. Okay, do that. Alrighty. Sorry, I don't want to die, so I blinked and I went ahead and I actually used the food that I have here. The fight is supposed to get progressively harder as the battle goes on, just because you're supposed to be dealing or taking more damage as battle goes because of the edicts. Some of them benefit Zamorak, some of them benefit you. But come on. Alrighty, and hit him with the weakness. There we go. Jump. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, we were able to heal back up right there. That was pretty good. Hit him with that. Do that. Do that. Alrighty, we got that. Oh crap, my pot went down. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, okay. Sorry. Again, I'm so used to like hitting certain keys when I am doing this boss because of the fact that I know that I need the healing, right? But let's go hit that, hit that. Defensive for the win. Hit him with that. Heal. Okay, right there. Alrighty. So that's phase 6. Let's go for phase 7. And again, most of the time I've been keeping up my soul split. I am healing. As you can see, some of the food is going down. But it's not to the point where I'm almost out of food, which again is just insane considering the fact that, hey, like I'm supposed to be prayer flicking here. Okay, it's gonna be that one twice. Another one. Okay, let's do that. Do that. Do that. And again, because of the amount of HP that I got here, like I went to 30k for just a little bit and I barely even got hit by the actual magic blast. Yeah, there we go. See? So mostly soul split, like no prayer flicking or anything at 250 in range. Is that great? Not really. Right now I'm working my way up to 500 in range, and I can definitely tell you I do need a soul split flick between the phases. But again, I it just gives me such a large amount of leeway. Because at 500 and or I think right now I'm at 600 something. I'm not quite sure. Let me see. Let me check real quick. No, is armor going now? Let me check my thingamabob. Um, yeah, right now because of the amount of range that I'm doing it in, it's like, let me see, 600. No. The highest range that I'm doing right now is 650, right? Um, but again, at this point, you're taking like 3k per hit on the regular attacks. And this, if I fuck up, it mitigates it down to 1.5, or let's say I take 4K, like 4K hits, it mitigates it to 2K, and that's much more manageable than 4K hits, where that's half of my HP if I'm not wearing the Masterwork armor. Um, you can definitely switch this out, these two, for the let's say, for example, you can switch it out for the Cinderbanes or even for the Fleeting Foots. I've come to realize I really don't use the Snipe ability that much. It's a really good ability, but it takes such a long time to recharge that I just forget about it. So I feel like I'm better off with the 50% damage mitigation rather than using the Snipe. Snipe is really, really good. It's just, again, it takes such a long time, and I usually prioritize in my rotation. I prioritize rapid fire, I prioritize dead shot, the Saren Godbow special attack, and then I just unload with snapshot, which is what's supposed to do. Like that snapshot is your go-to DPS. Like it just shoots two large hits. It's just that it takes a lot of adrenaline. But when you're using imbue shadows, you you get back 20% adrenaline on every every snapshot, and it costs you 25%. So if you get 10% ability back, 10% adrenaline back, and you shoot, and it effectively only costs you 5% ability, 5% adrenaline. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I know it was I was blabbering a lot. To make a long story short, after how long have I been recording for? After 43 minutes, I'll probably just clip this and put it as like a separate thing. Long story short, 10 out of 10. Get this armor if you can, or work your way to it. Custom fit it if you're an Iron Man, or don't if or yeah, or don't if you're willing to get the materials to fix it. But really, really good armor, definitely worth it. I actually think that melee might be in a better situation if the custom fitted Masterwork armor was retroactively um yeah, if it was retroactively upgraded to, if you could upgrade your custom fitted Masterwork armor or your Masterwork melee armor into tier 99. But that's for another story. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think that's about it for now. I might live stream for a little bit longer. If you, oh yeah, a couple people joined in. That's pretty cool. Um, but either way, if you enjoyed, thanks. If you didn't, well, take care. And I will see you next time.